Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication did not work for me. Modern medication.
Hello, welcome to Mercy TV, your source for news and information on the cannabis issue, with a focus on medical, as it unfolds here in Oregon, across America, and even from around the world. Greetings, my name is Perry, and along with Sunny and PK, we'll be hosting this segment of Mercy TV.
Don't forget my garden, who's on this station as well. I'm showing you how to grow a cannabis medical garden organically. I'm using tomato food as the feed for the plants. I just started that. I have some seeds that I'm just going to start planting, and that's on the next episode of my garden. You people in the hospital, get better. Talk to your doctors, talk to your children about cannabis. It is good medicine. You don't have to smoke it. Let's see. Thank you. It's a beautiful spring day now. We need you to give us we on this number. That's 503-588-6444. And then we have a office number, which is the 503-363-4588. And that has an answering machine. But if you call in business hours, you may get in touch with the person. So at this time, I'm going to say goodbye. My friend Barry's going to be coming up, and he's going to introduce another buddy of ours, a new buddy, and his name is Steve. So keep on watching. Give us a call. Please, we need your help. What's our website, Perry?
mercycenters.org. Visit us and send us an email, especially if you can't find what you're looking for there right away. And as we say, always give us a call there. And you can always come on down to the show here, Fridays at 7 p.m. and be in our studio audience there. So, folks, we're, I was saying, Mercy TV, an action item of Mercy, the Medical Cannabis Resource Center. We help folks to get their card, find medicine now, get growing, or to find a grower, adjust with their best forms of medication, and of course the changes in the law and how they affect them. Of course, we're also educating basic citizens about the cost of the war for them, not just to them, but their loved ones,
Well, like the patients in the hospital, they're the ones that are going through all the treatments, are going to the drugs and getting the side effects from those drugs, and they can get some help from the cannabis. Cannabis is good medicine. They can get help from the medicine. And you know what? That's where, if they talk to their doctor, they let them know that, you know what, I want to try it. I want to eat it. I want to be able to use this and get some benefit. This is where we can get our community working. And when our community works with other patients, it is very good. And the people in the hospital go, wow, if I would have known this a lot longer. It's our quality of life.
Right, yeah.
Is so much better. We struggle with so many things trying to get through the day on the crap. But you know what? Then we get this cannabis and we're able to go, wow, if I was able to do this and have these things and be able to, use this medicine and be able to go so good.
Right.
And it's so healthy for us. And when they do our blood test, and they take our blood test, and the blood test is so good, they go, wow, well, your blood test is good. You don't have to take all these pills that you were taking before. So you actually drop pills that you were taking prior to the cannabis.
I have an article here I was going to share with folks about opioids there, but I think that's one of the things that Barry Height here, our guest, cannabis activist, was going to talk about.
Well, you're so right on, Sonny. We're creatures of chemistry, right? I mean, if you don't have enough water, you're dehydrated. If you don't have enough good food, you don't get enough vitamins and minerals. If you don't eat correctly, we don't feel right? We're creatures, we're human beings, and we are biological in connection to the earth for our health and our vitality. And this cannabis plant is absolutely one of the most wonderful reconnecting energies of chemistry to feed our brain for healthy thinking, for healthy choices, for healthy taking care of one another, for healthy relationship building.
Right, and it's such a broad spectrum that it's covering there. I mean, where Sonny was talking, that people are getting off these hazardous, dangerous things, and then they're stepping into the positive, But
it allows them to do that, but they don't know that until they give themselves that choice.
Correct.
They have to give themselves that choice.
They have to free themselves. They have to liberate from the lies, the
deceptions.
Right, the stigma. They have to rise above that and see the truth of it and set them, not just themselves, but everybody around them free.
Absolutely. Right now, we have to really accept the challenge of educating ourselves.
Yes,
PK.
I remember the hemp plant and the different upsets of the hemp plant.
Absolutely, PK.
And that is another thing that the government.
It's a big conversation on so many different levels. We have a short period of time.
And see, that's it. Levels.
Yeah.
Levels.
Levels of perception, isn't it?
Well, and it's levels because when people and patients hear hemp, they go, oh, well, I've smoked hemp. And
well, that's like rope. We don't need to smoke rope.
No, you guys.
Like, no,
I'm just saying because I've talked with so many patients, and this is the first thing that comes out of their mouth.
Right.
And I'm just sharing with you guys the things that come out of their mouth. I smoked it and I used it, and this is what. Well, you guys, this is not what. The
bigger conversation is the plant has a diversity of uses on all kinds of levels. The hemp plant is designed for food and textiles, for an abundance of other aspects of living life in harmony. The medical cannabis plant, a whole nother conversation, which is why we should educate ourselves.
Right, yes,
why we should know about this upcoming Portland Expo, Oregon Hemp Conference, and we'll have a couple tickets to give away, if not.
Oregon Hemp Convention, April 14th, at 10 a.m., 7 p.m., Monday, Friday, Saturday, Sunday?
Yeah, and anybody that calls in right now or within this programming
OregonHempConvention.com. Get your Oregon Cannabis Connection to find out more.
It's all about...
Give a call, get some tickets.
Educate yourself. Right. Yeah. Get yourself to this event.
What's our number again, PK?
It's 503-588-6444. Barry, can you introduce your friend Steve?
I would love that, Peaky. Thank you for reminding me. Yes, I'd love to introduce everybody to Pastor Steve. He's got a very wonderful overview as to why his Church of Common Sense is so important to look into right now, and why we all must begin to think in a mind, body, spirit balance as we evolve. So I'd like to introduce Pastor Steve. And...
this is just furthering the discussion, because we're talking about the spectrum. There's the industrial, there's the environmental, there's the medical, there's the health, just, basic healthiness of the, and it's both the negative and the positive there. It doesn't have the bad things. It has a lot of omega, oils and so forth. But then, as you extend into the medical, you also are educated about the inspirational aspects of it, where it, I guess reduces the tension and stress and frees the mind at a certain level like that. Carl Sagan is a famous example of practitioner there.
Exactly.
And then we get to the spiritual realm. And cannabis has been a part of folks' spiritual pursuits
For how long?
since
For how
they've
long?
discovered it, as far as we know.
Exactly.
Very true.
Thousands and tens of thousands of years ago.
Yep.
So welcome, Pastor Steve.
Well, thank you.
All right?
It's a pleasure being here. Thanks for the invite.
Yeah, certainly.
Yeah, Church of Common Sense. I was God Med Cannabis Capsules back in 2011. Collateral damage. Spent years in the wilderness living on food stamps, given a vision to come back as a church this time. And it is God's medicine, and we should have a right to it.
Absolutely. It's downright miraculous in many ways. It's as if Jesus himself couldn't be here to set people free from their wheelchairs and so he sent his medicine instead. It's that spiritual. I mean, myself, I've witnessed one of my first cases of seeing medical cannabis applied. We were part of a group of folks with NORML, the National Organization Reform. We had this underground medical cannabis thing going, and I was contacted one time and met with so-and-so, and he arranged this, and finally get a little bit of medicine to this person. And they were like a palsy of some kind, and they were, in their chair, and they were had soiled themselves, and it was just, so debilitating. They were so oppressed, and then with a little bit of cannabis, they opened up, they freed, and ended up getting up out of that chair, cleaning themselves up, and the next thing you know, it's a regular person there in front of you. It was nothing short of a miracle.
You're modulating the body system, the endocannabinoid system, and it falls deficient, and by consuming cannabis, it modulates it, and the whole body just simply works better.
Well, it's back to educating people about the system and about the plant and about what's going on with the plant and what's in the plant. And people don't really want to know all of it. And then they go, oh, well, there ain't that much. And, well, yes, there really is. And then our bodies really are. And then when you use the medicine, wow. Hey, hey, there's a whole lot going on.
I was on $2,000 a month in chemical meds for the bipolar, the post-traumatic stress, the crust bones, the anxiety issues and everything. And in the beginning, 3 to 5 grams of the plant, chronic pain, went from chronic to irrelevant over about 2 months when I first started taking it. And now it stayed at irrelevant, and I have a couple of three, right? And I eat the whole plant. That's right. That's the way God gave it to us, and that's the way we've been doing it for thousands of years. And so, yeah, you just consume the whole plant. I offer capsules that are, if it's activated, it'll get you high. If it's not activated, it doesn't. On the TH side. And then I also offer, cannabis and hemp blends. So we have high THC or 1-to-1 or high CBD offerings. Anyway, if you fuel the body, it's smarter than we are. You give it a banquet to choose from, and it will heal itself.
Well, the important thing, I think, is how benign it is. As Barry was saying, it's, well known, common knowledge that it hasn't killed anybody, and possibly, is a very, very positive effector on, say, cancer. There's some studies in Europe that have proven some downright incredible results with it.
Well, apoptosis, the cancer cells forgot to die, and this simply reminds it you forgot to die.
Right. Yeah. Very basic things.
And that's the other big thing that I do in the Church of Common Sense is alkalinity. Cancer can't survive in a high alkaline environment. There's too much oxygen for it to survive. It thrives in a fermenting sugar acid environment. And so you put eating right, the alkalinity, spike in that. You can modulate it with baking soda. And the cannabis eating, modulating your endocannabinoid system. By treating those two things, you should be able to cure most ailments and illnesses.
Excellent. Well, that's what we've been seeing.
You mentioned that in your brochure.
Yes, I am on the website there at commonsense.life. I'm getting more stuff up there all the time about the pH chart. There's a food pH chart there, and different. There's frequencies because all our cells work at a certain frequency, and when that lowers, we get sick.
Reed has to have something to say.
I would like you to elaborate just a little bit on the use of cannabis, carbolized and non-carbolized. You're eating raw or you're eating it carbolized. Both provide the same benefits, correct? Many of the same benefits.
Oh, many of the same benefits, yeah. You know, before you heat it above 220, it has the acid molecule on it, and you can eat as much as you want, and it doesn't get you high, the THC in it. But when you knock the acid molecule off by decarboxylating, then you get the psychotropic effects. That's why I offer capsules that are not decarboxylated, so it doesn't get you high, or 25%,
Right.
50, 75, or 100. Depending on what you need to treat. You know, if you got pain, you want a high THC, something to
Right.
get your pain pretty good. But I think the 1-to-1 is going to be real popular there. Half activated, half unactivated, half cannabis, half hemp.
Right.
Give that banquet to the body.
Very good, you know, and it's so good to get this information out so folks can learn about it and then properly apply it and not have the concerns that they normally would. You know, oh, I don't want any THC, it could happen to you.
Well,
But we still want to educate folks that don't be afraid of the THC. I mean, there is no overdose level of THC.
No, there isn't.
You get dizzy, you get sick, some folks get lost. But
see, you're getting into
know,
the dabs, and you get the concentrates,
Right,
and that's
even
when
with
people
that,
have
you
adverse
know,
effects.
Stories are
the worst thing is the
You know.
the side effect from the chemicals that they use to do that.
Well,
and the process
there's that.
is there.
But one thing I'd like
You
to
know,
point
again,
out is the
cannabis
smoking.
is not the,
I'm not a big fan
the
of
bad
the,
person here. So,
of burning it, of the smoking of it.
Right, yeah.
17% effective. Vaporization
Particles,
is 40%
you know, yeah,
effective.
right.
And then the eating, of course, you get it's
100% of the whole
Well,
plant.
and
yeah.
that's what we've been talking about here lately, is like drinking, and because we was drinking it, and I got rid of the psoriasis. I had
Well, consuming the
psoriasis,
oil.
Oh, yeah,
I guess it
yeah.
is,
Like
yeah, so.
carpal tunnel pain.
and the
Applied
psoriasis,
topically, yeah. You know, that's why we talk to the folks in the
if you
hospital.
have
as much.
psoriasis and you want to get rid of your psoriasis, maybe you need to drink some cannabis oil, and the oil you need to drink is made out of like the ones that we were using were made out of grapeseed oil and coconut oil, and all of these oils are olive oil
Right.
are great.
all good for the body.
You
And
know?
you can use both the heating method, cooking it, which again we want to remind folks is not dangerous. You're not going to have these explosions people hear about in this form or this manner of cooking it. But there's also the cold fusion method we like to refer to, where you just simply take your solvent, your oil, put your cannabis in it, and wait 30 days. You know, stirring occasionally. So.
Yeah, I started out with a coconut oil mixture of infusing it, but then I put the whole plant and the oil into the capsule. So I'm a firm believer in the whole plant, the full spectrum, the entourage effect, all that.
Excellent. Well, God bless, and may the church grow and spread and educate folks and set them free there.
Well,
you know,
thank
so.
you.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
just getting
the
started.
important thing, and that's why the show and trying to get the information out, because, you know, the education and the information is so important, you know.
Getting the
because-
conversation started, you know,
And-
if it
and-
hasn't already.
And if, you know somebody that's hurting, or you know somebody that can use this information, get that information
Right.
to them.
The folks living on that vicious cycle of pill for this and pill, you know, for the that pill, for this pill, for that.
Yeah, I've
Break
been
that
there.
vicious
5-day
cycle.
pills I was taking, you know, and turned it in
Right.
for a plant, and that's where
You know.
I'm trying to be able to go to churches and start breaking through, because after my nervous breakdown and losing everything, they said, you know, talk more about Christ and not cannabis and stuff, and I want to be able to go in, and that's where I start talking the alkalinity, but. The body has an endocannabinoid system, and I'll gladly talk and share about that. So I'm trying to root my way into the normal place that, like you say, I
Right.
wouldn't have anything to do with that. And you know, you don't have to smoke it. There's other ways of
Well, certainly share
healing the
how,
body.
yeah, share about the parts of the Bible that do reference and don't, as the case may be.
Okay.
But of course, there's the information that folks have shared in the past about the cannabosum oil, a sacrament made in the time of Israel at
Right,
time of
Jesus
Christ,
healing,
yeah.
anointing oils, and things like that. That was part of it and everything. But I just quote Genesis 1:29
right,
there that it was all made to be our meat, and we are designed to eat primarily a vegetarian
Certainly.
diet.
And of course, the classic take every herb-bearing seed. and,
Every
you know,
herb-bearing seed and all that, you know. Think
Right.
of the Garden of Eden and what would have been there. That's how we should be fueling ourselves, and we've been guided away from that.
And try as I
so we
might,
get
I
sick.
haven't read the part about lying and cheating and having a double standard and denying a man. I remember about Jesus walking along, and you get to walk, and you go forth and sin no more, and you can see, and then freaking out and slapping that joint out of the guy's hand and dragging his butt to jail there.
That's
No,
why
I don't recall.
our church promotes love, compassion, and healing, is what Jesus' message was. Turns out he came to the Americas and taught the native tribes after ascension and everything. There's all a witness of that, of different tribes. The president of our Guardians of the Sacraments, an arm of the Church of Common Sense, the Native American sacrament arm of it there, they talk about that, where he went and taught others just like in Jerusalem and stuff. And we should be able to just instantly heal, but we haven't got there yet.
Right. Well, it's a long process, I'm sure. First stop the poisons and everything, injecting and having to fight that off, and then living the healthier lives. And I think once hemp is part of that, it's going to happen for everyone. Yeah, BK.
The pharmaceutical drugs and the different side effects that they have required. You can't say that with cannabis. You don't have to smoke the healing oil.
That's right. Yeah, applying it topically, as we were saying before. But right, you know that
Ingesting.
it breaks that vicious cycle. You know, folks aren't living well. They're not eating right. They're not sleeping right. And cannabis affects all of those things and more.
Well,
you know,
today-
spasticity.
Today,
saying
so many people have problems with
psoriasis.
bursitis, arthritis,
Right.
and these joint pains, and they're taking so many pills for those arthritises and bursitis, and then once they get on those pills, they get caught up in those pills, and then pretty soon those pills are leading them to more pills that lead them to side effects.
Right.
Well, I went down that
And those side effects get caught up, and they're going, wow,
Yeah.
now I'm on a whole nother trip. I'm like,
A vicious cycle.
I was over here taking pills for this, and now I'm over here taking pills for this.
Got this condition.
And
this
I'm not
symptom from
even,
it.
I'm so far away from why I'm taking pills, from why
To begin
I'm
with,
taking
yeah.
pills. And oh yeah, by the way, I also got to take a few more pills for something that I don't even know why I'm taking pills, because they just want me to take some pills because, you know what, that's what they do. Believe me, if anybody's been in the hospital, you're smiling right now,
Yeah, no,
because
yeah.
I've been there. And
Yeah, they had me on 5 to 8, like I say, and I was so messed up I couldn't even take the family on spring break one time when we got into the snow going to
Yeah.
you know,
Quality of life and all.
But then
yeah.
2 or 3 grams of a plant, you know, on the pills. How you feeling? Hanging on by my fingernails. How you feeling? I feel like a teenager again. I wear my high school ring to prove it. Just
Right
a
on.
vast difference.
So, hey, reminder, folks, call in, get your tickets to the Oregon Hemp Convention happening Saturday, April 14th, 10 a.m., 7 p.m. at the Portland Expo Center. Call in, get them now. And go ahead.
Well, and we also got, the reason we got all this information is cannabis is good medicine.
Well, we've been sharing and networking for a long time. We were part of getting the law in place. We've been networking on it ever since, not just here in Oregon, but in all 50 states and from some 35 countries around the world. We've been contacted, phoned, emailed. Folks have left notes on our bulletin boards there. And visit our website, mercycenters.org, and find out more. Or, again, we're talking about coming on down to the show Friday, 7 p.m. Be part of our studio audience. Offer in your comments, curses, or kudos. Of course, always just call on in, folks. Don't be shy here now.
So excuse me.
Yeah.
Let's just take a second. Our friend Dennis here, which was the father of the cause in one way or the other, he passed away last month or several months ago. Our good friends Mike and Shauna, who helped out with the show, they passed away. Let's just take a second and remember them. And remember, cannabis is good medicine. Thank you very much, folks. Have a good life.
Yes.
Right. So don't forget, spread the word. Tell everybody you know, and then tell everybody you don't know. If you care about the cause, register, vote, and repeat that process. Get everybody you know to do so also, and then everybody you don't know. Yet.
And to our friends that are watching this on the YouTube channel, thank you. And especially you, Katie, and Jenny, and all the rest of you.
And our little fan club up in Washington State, hey, we hope you're enjoying the show.
Well, and the thing is, the information is so important. By keeping the information out there, we know that people are still learning that, you know what, it's not that hard to make these oils that we can use.
Right on.
Because, you know what, cannabis is good medicine that we can make, that we can use, that we can share, and that, you know what, once you start using it and rubbing it on topically, and you can put it on your shoulders, on your legs, on your feet, and all of these different parts of your body that you use it on, it's very good.
Excuse me. And I want to mention Robert in Arkansas, who's fighting a good way. And Henry Turner, who wrote the first song that you hear, Modern Medication, and no good for me.
Hey, yeah, thanks and shout out to all our friends, family, supporters, to our crew here, Lance in the control room, and take the time to mention agent420.biz for your cannabis insurance needs. Reed, thanks for stopping by. Barry, thanks for helping out with the show there. We hope things work out. Pastor Steve, thanks for coming by and sharing the word with
pleasure.
folks. Visit the website.
Oh, churchofcommonsense.life.
Okay. Excellent. And thank you for watching. Don't forget to get out there, spread the word, and come on back here with a whole living room full of folks to share all this information about cannabis.
Hey, I'm sorry you're not going to make it to the show, but we are.
So we'll see you next time here on Mercy TV. Sonny?
Well, you know, every Friday night, come on down on Friday nights. CCTV is a good place to do it. They'll let us help you out. Come
Right
on down.
Thanks. We'll see you
Thank
next
you.
time on Mercy TV.
You want to say anything before I turn it off, Glenn?
Yes, good night.
Good night. God bless you all, every single one of you.